For many years, Ikea's focus has been to prevent child labor in South Asia, especially in India. Ikea cooperates with UNICEF and Save the Children to tackle the root causes of child labor and to achieve sustainable solutions. Lasting change requires an holistic approach and involves understanding the children's situation and undertaking long-term programs to address the root cause, like combating poverty, ill health, and lack of knowledge. In the year 2000, Ikea joined forces with UNICEF to prevent and eliminate child labor in the carpet belt in northern India. The project is focused on creating awareness and mobilizing these rural communities around actions to prevent child labor. This includes establishing women's self-help groups, give women basic education, provide bridge schools for children who have not attended schools, as well as immunization for children and mothers against common illnesses. The initiative project covered 500 villages with more than 1 million inhabitants. Some 80,000 children got an education that would otherwise have been denied. And today, Ikea Social Initiative and UNICEF plan to scale this up, using the same approach and to cover more than 6,000 villages. Our third priority, climate change. Although climate change has always been on our sustainability agenda, I think it is fair to say that it has grown enormously in importance over the last 2 years. Previously, we focused very much on the transportation of our goods and to some extent the transportation of our customers. Today, we are developing a much more comprehensive agenda, partly in partnership with WWF. If we look at our carbon footprint in numbers, it can be defined in many different ways. If we include everything, i.e. the extraction of raw material at source, the processing at sub-suppliers, our customers' transportations to the stores, our customers' use of our products in their homes, light bulbs, white goods, etc., and of course our own activities at Ikea, including our stores, warehouses, all our supplies, etc. A rough estimate is that our CO2 emissions today amount to around 27 million tons per year. 87% of this, however, is attributed to CO2 emissions from raw material extraction, sub-suppliers, and customer transportation and use. And 13%, or 3.6 million tons, are attributed to our own units, our suppliers of products, and our goods transport suppliers. CO2 emissions at our own units, stores, warehouses, Swedwood factories, and offices are estimated to 550,000 tons per year. A comprehensive initiative was launched in 2006 to substantially decrease CO2 emission at these units. Under the headline IKEA Goes Renewable, we set the long-term objective to source all IKEA units, stores, warehouses, offices, and IKEA-owned factories with 100% renewable energy. We also set the objective to increase energy efficiency in our units with 25%. The status 2008 is that we are on 45% renewable energy for heating, 20% renewable electricity, and 20% energy efficiency improvement. I feel this is a very successful initiative so far. New IKEA stores and warehouses are fitted with renewable energy solutions. We have solid systems in place to monitor energy use in all our units and benchmark against the best units. Different solutions are used in different locations and countries. Examples are ground source heat pumps, air-to-air heat pumps, biomass boilers, and solar power. Our new Brooklyn store, for instance, is one of our 4 stores where we now test solar photovoltaics for electricity production, and where we also have started ferry lines from Manhattan for public transport. Yesterday I heard that 50% of our customers in the Brooklyn stores come with public transport today. That is an Ikea record, I would say. The new Karlstad store in Sweden is the first Ikea store in Sweden heated with a ground source heat pump. The installation, which is one of the largest geothermal installations in Sweden, reduces the heating energy consumption with 80%, which is equivalent to the energy consumption of 150 detached houses per year. Payback on that investment will be 8 years. The new Spreitenbach store is the first store in Switzerland heated only using wood pellets and sunshine. Additional insulation reduced the heat need a lot, and all the heat is now from renewable sources. The Würzburg store in Germany plans include use of underfloor heating and cooling, ground source heat pumps, and a liquid biofuel boiler with €1 million investment and 7-year payback. Many units in Germany hope to receive suppliers of biogas instead of natural gas from 2008. With the IKEA Goes Renewable initiative, I'm confident that we will make good progress with our own units in the coming years. Another area we are addressing is our own business travel. In actual tons emissions, this is a small area, only 12,000 tons per year, but it has high symbolic significance because all IKEA co-workers have a chance to contribute. In 2007, we launched a new initiative to reduce business travel. We have invested in more and better technical support and put tough goals on travel costs, where we want to shift a substantial part of our travel to virtual meetings using web, phone, and video. In the first 5 months of the project, we conducted 9,000 web meetings with 27,000 participants. Travel costs having increased with around 20% per year the last 3 years will this year be reduced with 20% compared to last year. Goods transports is another important area in reducing CO2 emissions. Today, these contribute with 740,000 tons CO2 emissions per year. Our goal is to reduce emissions by 12% per cubic meter kilometer from 2006 to 2010, and we are well on the way to achieve this. In volume, 17% is transported via ocean, 5% via rail, and 69% via road. In cubic meter kilometer, however, ocean is by far the biggest with 65%. This is, of course, because of ocean being the mode of transport between the continents, Asia, Europe, and North America. We work with many different areas to reduce emissions from transportations. One important factor is our sourcing strategy. We are, in fact, moving towards a more regional rather than global production. The need of shorter lead times, higher transportation costs, less incremental economy of scale advantages, and currency fluctuations all speak for more production closer to the sales markets, and consequently, more environmentally sound production from a transportation point of view. Today, 56% of the volume sold in China are sourced in Asia. In 8 years, we believe the number will be 85%. Around 40% of the volume sold in Russia are sourced from Russia. 80% of all IKEA sales come from Europe, and 70% is sourced in Europe. We have recently opened our own first factory in the US to increase sourcing to our US stores from the US. Today's 18% of US sales is sourced from North America. In 8 years, that number will be 35%. I have already mentioned the efficiency of flat pack furniture. We also continually innovate in other types of packaging to maximize the use of space. We adapt product packaging to fit exactly onto Euro pallets or other standard IKEA pallets to maximize the amount of pallets in our trucks.